Hello and welcome once again to a new video for the channel. Firstly, a big thank you to all the people who have liked, commented and subscribed to the recent projects I've uploaded, including the recent World War I book diorama, which is nearing completion pretty soon now. So this video isn't the start of a new project as such, but a look at one of Gero Designs' more recent new kits, which is mostly a laser cut kit of a German brewery. I'll open up the box to see what's inside and the various parts needed to put it all together. There's over 100 parts, I believe, to build the 4 buildings. There's ceramic pieces too for the steps, the loading ramps and the flooring. Plus there's other parts like glass and decals to finish it all off. Once we've gone through the contents, I'll put it all together, have a look at the configuration to see what it looks like once it's all together, and if there's an alternative way of displaying it, as it would need quite a large base to fit all on according to the dimensions provided by Gero Design. So let's have a look. Okay, so let's open up the box to see what contents are inside. First off, we have a big bag of laser cut wooden pieces. Many of them are labelled, as you can see, or marked Roof 342. That obviously helps with the build, putting it all together. We have some wood there marked out with some brickwork, which is a nice detail. So there's a big bag of wood there. That's, I would imagine, is for the 4 buildings we mentioned earlier. Also included in this bag is a set of decals. I know this translates to Eagle Brewery, so that's obviously to finish off the model itself. I have another smaller bag of, again, laser cut pieces, this time for the doors and for the window frames. As you can see, all really nicely detailed again. And it also includes some of the brackets for the pipes that go across connecting the 2 buildings, like you can see here in the photograph. So that's all nicely done. First packet of ceramic detail is one of the loading bays with all the tiles marked out there. Pretty straightforward, but nicely done. No damage or anything like that. Everything is really well packaged and provided for. Again, this one a little bit more simpler detailing, just for the top, for the tiles. I would imagine would go on the side, something like that. And then another piece similar to the first, I would imagine, is the other loading bay. Yeah, identical to the first one. Pretty strong, nice little bit of detailing. We do have a large bag of ceramic tiles rather. This would be for the flooring for the base of the brewery itself. Unfortunately, quite a number of these are broken, as you might be able to see. We'll have to have a look when we start putting the diorama itself together, how much of that can be saved, but there is quite a few broken ones. So that is there. This time around, for this kit, Gero Design have supplied some cardboard roof tiles. In the past, I've built a few of their kits, their buildings, and they've had wooden roof tiles, which are really nice. This time they've gone for the cardboard. So we'll see how that turns out. Also inside the box are some metal sheeting, some corrugated sheeting. This would be for the smaller canopies that go around the buildings. There's 8 in those, as you might be able to see. So that's another part. We have 3 bags. We have 3 tubes of super glue, which will help glue it all together for the buildings. One thing they don't supply in here is wood glue, which is what I've used in the past to glue the buildings together. I find it gives a really good strong adhesion as opposed to just using super glue. They do supply, however, some plaster, and this will be used to go between the flooring tiles, a grout, so to speak. So that would be used for that. They've got the pipes that will go between 2 of the buildings, as we saw in the picture. They are quite long. I don't know if they're supposed to be this long or they need to be. Obviously, it can be cut down to size as necessary. But those are in the box. We have another little package. This is some steps, 1 set of steps, and we have another set here. Again, just quite straightforward and simple, but nicely done. And then finally, we have a bag of the plastic, the glass for the windows and for the doors, already marked out. So it'd just be a case of going around with a scalpel or sharp blade and just picking those out. but that won't be too much problem. So there's a number of those in there. And then finally, just a couple of instruction sheets. This one is all in German. There's no English translation or any other translation on there, but that's quite straightforward. Just take a photograph with something like an iPhone, and then you can automatically translate it. So we'll have a look a little later to see what all that's about. And then we have just some pictures without any writing really, but just to show you what's in store and what you can expect from this kit. All the pieces laid out, so you can see exactly what's the kit contents inside, the numbers of how much of each thing, and then we'll just follow that from there. So first off now is I'll start working on the buildings, have a look at the bag, what's involved, and start putting some bits together. Okay, so I've taken all the pieces of wood out of the plastic bag and set up the numbers, corresponding the numbers with each one. Altogether there's 7 pieces that have numbers on, one for the front, one for the back, and it's just a case of simply just putting them together, gluing them together to make the walls thicker. 7 pieces like that, and then there's a number of individual pieces. Some of the detailed, the brickwork, that's just a thinner piece of wood. This part here for the archway for the top of the building, and then there's 4 roof pieces for roofs, again labelled 1 to 4, and they will go on top at the end. Okay, so we'll start with building A. What we've got here on the instruction sheet, you can see for each of the 4 buildings it tells you exactly what you need. So for example, for the first part of these 2 which we have here, second 2 are these 2 here. We've got the roof, which is actually marked roof 1, and then on these sheets there's 4 sheets like this all together, and each one corresponds with each building. So it even says on the sheet itself building A, and so all the windows, the doors, and the framework that you need to put this together. This is what the final layout looks like now that all the buildings are complete. I had to check the configuration and the alignment at times before putting the roofs on these 2, as they had to match up with the taller building here. I slightly had to alter the angle of this roof and fillets just so it would align with the brickwork on the taller one. But apart from that, everything went together really easy enough. The quality of the wood is really nice to work with. It's pretty strong, and I particularly like the brickwork as well. The way that's been laser cut is really nice detail. I've left the doors off to make them easier to paint, but all that now that would need to be done is to add the plaster. This is the plaster that comes with the kit, and it's just simply a case of each individual building just coating with a layer of plaster, perhaps with a palette or a spatula, and once that's all dry, just sand it all down and it's all ready to paint. You could paint it, I guess, without the plaster and just go straight onto the wood, but you wouldn't get the nice effect as you would with the plaster around the brickwork, for example. So that's all to be done for another day. I'm going to leave this project now. I've put it together, but leave it maybe until early next year now, as I have a few other things I need to do. The metal sheets, as you can see here, would eventually, once the plaster work is done and painted, go around and lay on top of the brackets. as would the pipe going across between these two buildings. And again, these are the brackets that would individually be painted before going on. So that's it. The overall size for a base you would need is 53 centimeters across by 22 centimeters, and the height of the tall building is 35 centimeters. But once you had that on a base, again, you'd have to allow for a bit of extra few centimeters there. So the size of the shelf that you would have to go on have to be a decent size. That's something I don't have. I only have something 40 by 45 centimeters at best. So perhaps I'd have to make it smaller. So one way of doing that, I would imagine, is to perhaps put another piece of wood here covering to make this a complete building. And then maybe have it like that way, fill in the hole and have the pipe going across between these two from that direction. That would shorten the diorama and make it a bit more reasonable to put it into a space. But like I say, I'm going to leave that till next year and crack on with it then. I've also primarily bought this little truck. This is from Mini Art. And that's for the beer delivery truck, and it comes with some barrels as well. This kit doesn't come with anything in terms of barrels or boxes or anything like that. You'd have to find accessories for that. So this is what the truck looks like at the moment. You can see it in size of scale compared to the buildings. Hopefully a little bit better once it's finished. But it, like I say, it gives you an idea. If you did bring this building around and to create a smaller base, you would lose quite an area here. So if you were going to create a diorama, it would limit you slightly. I do have a nice idea what I might try with this. I'll have to look up some figures and see what's available. But like I say, that's going to have to wait till next year. You can find this building and all the others that Gero Design make, from ceramic buildings to these wooden laser kit ones. They're really nice. I really enjoyed putting this together. So I'll leave a link in my notes at the bottom just so you can go straight to their website, have a look at what they've got. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Leave any comments you see fit, put some likes and subscribe if you haven't done already, and I'll see you pretty soon. Thanks for watching.